Welcome back to another video. Today I am sat in a 2026 Chevrolet Equinox EV, and I wanted to show you guys that even though this doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the infotainment in this vehicle is still exceptional, and I think it's still worth buying even if you like those features, because I think this has everything that the average person that uses CarPlay would need. Anyway, let's fire up the vehicle by hitting the brake pedal. Let's start with the central infotainment display. Over here you have a volume knob, which actually is physically mounted to the screen, but in the middle is actually a touch screen. You can mute the music through that, which is actually kind of neat. It's a nice little knob here. I do like that they have a physical volume dial. Down here you have your climate controls. These are mirrored from these lower knobs. However, there are some controls like the heated seats that are on the touch screen only. You can go up and down with your fan speed on the screen right here. You can change your temperature and set it to auto and change the direction and stuff like that, and turn on your heated seats, obviously. Over here, this is kind of your controls panel. So you have your vehicle off button. That's because the vehicle will shut off automatically when you get out. Sometimes it doesn't work, so you can manually override with the vehicle off button. Here you have the keep vehicle on setting, which will keep it on for 60 minutes. You do have the regenerative braking toggle, so you can set your one pedal drive between off, normal, and high. Although honestly, I like leaving it on normal because the regen in this vehicle is really strong. So normal regen is plenty, and I just use the regen pedal on the steering wheel if I need a little more regen. And down here you have your light controls. Up here at the top you have some quick access buttons. So this is your home button, your separate panel button. You can also do this, and you can also edit what is there. So you can change between audio, Google Maps, and your trip information, which is pretty neat. Up here you also have a controls panel, which also accesses stuff like your camera, your 360-degree surround view camera, which is excellent, very high resolution, and a lot of angles to switch between. In here you can also toggle off your rear automatic braking. You can turn on your dome light, although you still can just press them to turn them on, but it turns on all of them at once. Up here you have your power window lockout, obviously your camera control like I mentioned before, traction control quick toggle, auto high beam quick toggle, and parking sensor quick toggle. And then if you go into see more controls, you can toggle your power window lockout again, and then this is how you adjust how high the rear liftgate opens. So if you click custom, you can move the liftgate and then hold down the liftgate button to set the height. You have lights, which is basically what we already saw. Drive and park, you can turn the traction control all the way off, which I think is what that quick toggle does. You can turn off your blind zone steering assist, park assist you can turn off, one pedal driving, and your rear automatic braking. So basically the only thing in here that's not in the quick settings menu is the blind zone steering assist. Going back here you have your safety. This is just the power window lockout, which you already had, and that's that menu. Over here you have your audio menu. You have your source button, so you can change your source between different apps, and if you download more audio apps they will appear here. Here you have your phone connectivity, so if you want to connect a phone through Bluetooth you can do it there. And down here you have your audio equalizer and your fade and balance, so you can move it around. And in here you have your radio favorites, which you can delete or add if you want to, or rearrange them. That's the audio tab. Then you have your Google Maps. Now obviously I'm in a garage, so I have very little signal, but if you wanted to do route planning, so let's say I went to New York. Yeah, sure, New York, Texas. Not the New York I was thinking of. There you go, arrive with 15% actually. It's actually pretty close. And then it says we return here with 6%. It does do EV route planning, and it shows you where the chargers are and stuff like that. And you can also customize your charging filters inside there. Turn on your navigation volume, charging stations. And there you go. It shows you your Tesla supercharger. So if you want to go charge up. And when you navigate to a charging station, of course, it'll precondition your battery for faster charging. So there you go. Arrive with 11% if we were to leave right now. And it is not that close. So actually getting pretty good range there. And that's basically Google Maps. It's basically the same as every other car with Google Maps. You can log in and it'll save your searches and stuff like that. And then you have your phone menu, which you just can go to manage phones, and it brings you to that other thing that you had before if you pair your smartphone. Now we just have the main home menu. So let's start with vehicle status. So you can see your tire pressures if you click right here. You can see your efficiency, energy usage, and then you can also click tire pressure here, which just pulls it up, and then you can add it to the driver display. Or you can click your energy info, which shows you your energy usage, your energy efficiency. It will show a graph on here when you're driving, and it shows your battery capacity, which is good. And it shows your trips. This is how you can reset your tripometer. You have trip 1 and trip 2, and it shows your efficiency, and you can add that to the driver display with that button, or you can see your current trip and add that to the driver display. That's that menu. Let's go home. Next up you have the drive modes menu. So you have normal, sport, snow and ice, and my mode. And then my mode you can go in and customize. So like, do you want the steering, the brakes, acceleration, feel, motor, sound, my mode, etc. And here you can also quickly access the trailering menu, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Back here we have the My Chevrolet, which I believe requires you to be signed into Google, I'm pretty sure, for that to work. There you go. You can sign in, and then you can see if your vehicle needs service. You can also go down, there you go, And then you can shop your cellular plans like your OnStar and stuff like that, and your connected access, which is until 2034. Down here you have your scheduled service, and then this is your owner's manual, and then you have your terms and agreements and notifications and stuff like that. Let's go back. You have the Play Store, so if you sign in, you can download any on Android automotive app, so like YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, I believe is in there, Prime Video. You can download the YouTube app if you want to watch YouTube while you're parked, Spotify, Waze. It has all this stuff that CarPlay users say, oh, I have to use Waze. Well, you can just download it on here. That's the big thing for me, is that you can just download your streaming services directly. Next up, you have the charging menu, so you can set your charging limit. Interestingly, the lowest you can set your charging limit is 30%. Which is pretty low, honestly. Lowest normally is 50 on a Tesla or whatever. It shows your charging rate. So this is the number that the vehicle's requesting from the charger, and this is the current charging rate. You can see your miles per hour increase rate, the completion time, and you can set a charge cord limit, although it's not an infinitely variable limit, unfortunately, and then you could stop the charge. You can sign in with your My Chevrolet account, and this allows you to activate a Tesla supercharger or other charging station directly through the vehicle, which is neat. You can create a schedule, so if you want to like charge to only like a certain percentage or precondition the cabin at a certain time, you can do it through this menu. And you can go here, save a home location. You can do a manual fast charge prep. You can change the cabin preconditioning temperature, and you can do your level 2 charge cord limit automatically through there. Next up, you have the camera, which I already showed. You also have the Google Maps and all these other stuff, but these are actually redundant because this just opens that and then the phone opens the same thing. So we're basically not going to mention any of this except for maybe Google News, but oh, never mind. That's just a radio input. All right, let's move down to the trailering menu. You do have your light test, and then you have a checklist. You can say like, hey, your trailer securely hitched and stuff like that, so that's neat. You have your settings. You can go to connections, so this is like your devices, your Wi-Fi hotspot, vehicle to phone sharing, trusted device, vehicle, audio settings, buckle to drive, rear seat reminder, teen driver mode, set a key, so you can type in like a pin and then lock out, like so if you do like 1 2 3 4. So then if you do teen driver settings, you can set a speed limiter, which prevents you from going over 85 miles an hour, or a speed warning, which you can customize. And then obviously you can add teen driver keys. So you place the key in the cup holder and it does that. You can view a report card, which is interesting. You can see your distance, your maximum speed. You can go in here and see how many times traction control kicked on, wide open throttle, which you have to do a lot in this car because it's not the fastest thing. You can clear it, of course. Pretty neat. And then you can clear pin in all teen driver settings, and then it deletes it. You have your rear seat reminder, speed assist. It does support traffic sign recognition. I will turn that on. And you can do adaptive cruise control, will adjust to speed limit signs if you want that. You can do a chime when speeding and a new speed limit chime. Up here you have a new speed limit, so like when a new speed limit's detected. This does vibrate the seat if you get too close to stuff, which is funny. Comfort, chime volume. Oh, that's loud. Then you have your power liftgate opening, which is in the controls. Hands-free exterior storage. Doesn't have like a kick sensor, but you can have it to where you can wait with it near it. Auto wipe and reverse gear, that just wipes through a window. Power door, auto door unlock, remote lock, lock and unlock feedback. Yeah, that's all pretty standard. You do have the remote window operation. I think if you hold the unlock button on the key fob, it rolls down all the windows. And you do have a key left in vehicle reminder, so it'll go beep, beep, beep when you leave the key in here. Key removed from vehicle. And then you also have transport mode, which will disable some systems to reduce power. Then you have like your notification settings, which you can toggle by whatever app. And then you can go to apps and you can view all the apps. You can go to date and time and change the date and time. Display, sounds, volume levels. This is how you can change like the audio volume independently of all this stuff, which is neat. You can turn off like the touch noise, although honestly I don't mind the touch sound. Maximum volume on startup. This is a nice sound that Chevy has. So like if you have the volume like cranked and you come back in the morning, it won't blow your ear holes out. Profiles and accounts, you can change that, which you can also tap up here and change profiles too. And then you can change your account. So like you can add a Google account through there. Privacy, microphone, Google stuff. Accessibility, assistant, you can do Google Assistant. Use a screenshot, system, reset options. You can see how much storage is left. It's got 32 gigs. It's Android 2014, which is a little bit out of date, but the patch level is May 2025. Then you have Google things down here, and then updates. You can do an update history. So that's the settings menu. Then you have your ambient lighting. You can just change that and change the brightness, and then you can set it to demo mode, which does a rainbow. That's pretty cool. And then you can set it to the drive mode. Changes with the drive mode, which is pretty interesting. Then you have your climate menu, which is a little bit redundant, but it does allow you to do the things that you could already do down here. But then you can also go to the rear climate zone and change the rear speed independently from the front, or you can sync it, and then you can change it from like head or feet. And then you can also change the auto fan speed, and then you can do like heated seats on startup and stuff like that. Go back. You have the Wi-Fi hotspot, and then you can change the car name, and then you can change the Wi-Fi password and stuff like that. That's pretty much it for the center display. In the driver display, you do have the option to obviously change the view like this, and you have a full map view if you want it. Unfortunately, it only says your percentage on this screen, so if you want to see your actual like numerical percent, you have to stay on this view. And then obviously, if you want to customize the side panes, you have to go in here and go to vehicle status and like go here, and then you can add that to the driver display. But I think this side is not customizable. I think this just stays as your music, but you can customize this section. And if you go to the next screen, you can customize this middle bit, and then if you go to the next one, I don't think you can customize anything. And then here is the driver assistance menu, so you can change your gap adjust and it shows it there. And then this is just like a calm screen. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the infotainment system. It works pretty well. It's very snappy, has all the features that you could want, nothing you really don't. And if you want more apps, you have the Play Store. So that'll be the end of this fairly short video. If you guys wanted to know, is the infotainment in the Equinox EV good? The answer is yes, regardless of whether or not it has CarPlay or not. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. See you all in the next video. Bye.